Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and boy, oh boy, do I get excited when the rain cloud comes to town. All right, while he is not the highest elo player, it must be said, he is never lacking on entertainment value. That's why we're featuring him once again in the south of the map, playing in the color red as the Russians. I don't know what this recording is going to be. All I know is a general overview of what his strategy is, and it is not the typical Russia build. So I am muy excited. And his opponent in the north of the map, playing in the color blue, is Roxel as the Aztecs, arguably the strongest and the most rage-inducing civ in the game currently, and he is going with the Community Plaza. We're on the Pripet Marshes. This is actually one of my least favorite maps, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't like swampy, marshy maps. They've just never appealed to me aesthetically, but we are going to see Raincloud picking up the 75 food with the bear, who is named Scooby-Doo, which just introduces all sorts of questions. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, both of these civs known for their aggression. I would say Aztec has always been better at it, right? I mean, Russia was the original Russia the Rusher. And then Aztec came in during the War Chiefs expansion, and they really just kind of took that moniker. And ever since DE, they have just been incredibly strong. I don't know if they've ever been stronger than they are right now. I know they got a couple of nerfs in the latest patch, but let's be honest, it didn't really do much. So we'll have to see what he goes with. I mean, it is a pretty aggressive deck. He's got 6 Pumas, 8 Slinger, 9 Slinger, and he's got the 11 Mayan Allies, which are now 600 gold, because that makes it better. And man, that XP he gets from those Treasure Guardians is insane. And what is he going to be picking up? 95 XP. That is beautiful. 3 Vils. And let's take a look at Raincloud. What is Raincloud up to? Sending Distributism, and his deck is named Oprik. I think you know what is coming next. Is this going to be an Oprichnik build? He told me, the only thing he told me was it was an Opry strat. And I assumed that was Oprichnik's, and I think that's what it's going to be, which, if that's the case, we might see some rage here, ladies and gentlemen, because there is no more annoying unit on the map than the Oprichnik from Russia. Maybe Chimu runners from Inca, they're also very annoying. But if that's what we're going for, we are not going to be seeing the typical blockhouse forward, 5 Cossack, maybe some Ruskets and Strelet. We're going to be seeing something very different, which I think is the right call. Not only is it a delicious amount of Mimi, but, you know, if you try to rush Aztecs in the standard kind of play that Russia likes to do, it just doesn't work, because you run into their war hut, you get killed by a mix of slingers and coyotes, and your Cossacks get killed by pumas, and then you're just kind of dead. So I like this adaptation from Raincloud. We'll have to see if it works. He's going up with the Logistician, so he's not even going up with the Quartermaster. Market in transition. Meanwhile, Roxel is doing some pretty standard Aztec stuff, going up with the Elder. He has the Community Plaza, as I mentioned before, getting down the house, and quite a few Vils on coin. Is he gathering up for Mayan allies? That's a lot of Vils. That's 9 Vils on coin, 0 on wood, 5 on food. And he's going to have 2 shipments ready to go as soon as he ages up. So I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he's going to hit us with like 5 Vil Mayan allies. Maybe he goes Mayan allies and then 9 slingers. Goes for a really strong early push. And it's the reason why Russia cannot beat Aztec. Aztec's military shipments are even better than Russia's in H2. And Russia has some pretty good shipments, but we can see here that, I mean, Raincloud is not gearing up for the Commerce Age at all. He's being very defensive. He's gathering a lot of hunts under his TC, which, I mean, Russia eats through a lot of food very quickly. So the more he has of that, the better. And getting his market upgrades, let's see what has come in. Doesn't look like I can see. Why can't I see the, okay, he's getting steel traps, blockhouse coming down. And that's so good. That's so good for Russia. The fact that their Logistician build not only gives you a blockhouse, but also a barracks. Oh, I mean, that's just so much better than other civs that just get a regular old outpost. So maybe that's criminally neglected. I mean, I know Quartermaster's good, but maybe we need to explore the Logistician with Russia more. And first shipment coming in is 700 coin. He's got pretty much all of his vills on food currently. So this is actually going to be a quick age up. It is the Russian FF, which I never thought those words were going to come out of my mouth, but you know, only with Raincloud, man. He is the most exciting 1600 elo player that we have. And wow, look at this group of guardians here. He's got 2 plague doctors, Buck the Tame Wolf. He's got a Clift, and he's got the Eagle Scout. Just no problem picking up that treasure, or I guess not. What? He's just gonna neglect the treasure. Oh, what a baller move. Just doesn't even care. Or maybe he just wants to pick up this this wood treasure here, 90 wood. And there we see him, the Jaguar Prowler Knights coming out. And what is he following it up with? Yep, the Mayan Allies. So looks like he went 700 wood, then the Mayan Allies, and then the Entente Slinger. So there is going to be a very strong push here. And it's going to be coming in at around the 7 minute 30 mark. And that's going to be right as Russia's transitioning here. I mean, Raincloud just about to hit the age up button. And if he goes with the Exiled Prince, he'll definitely get to age 3 safely. But is he going to be able to do much once he gets there? Because he's going to have a lot of infantry sitting under his base. Now, he does see the Mayan Allies. And if you see the Mayan Allies, that usually means there is a push coming. You don't really send Mayan Allies as Aztec unless you're doing an early rush. So even that little bit of scouting for Raincloud is going to be really, really important. A lot of heavy infantry here, not as much ranged infantry, just the 9 Entente Slingers. And oh my God, you look away for 1 second, you come back, and Raincloud is building 4, count them, 4 blockhouses. And that is certainly going to be a little bit imposing for Roxella to push into. Now, he does have quite a bit of siege in this army. These Hulken Javeliers, I mean, they've got what, 24 siege? That's not bad. The Ententans don't have very good siege. The Coyotes, they have 11, not great. But the Prowler Knights, I mean, they have 46 siege attacks. So there is enough in this army to do damage to the blockhouses, but 4 blockhouses plus TC Fire, that's not just something you can walk away into and come out unscathed. So we'll have to see. And the first card coming out is Denton Nets. So he's going to be getting 2 more blockhouses, and he's going to be increasing the blockhouses by 20%, and it gives you a free upgrade to Frontier Blockhouse. This is such a weird build. Like, Russia's on the defensive. This is like the opposite of every instinct I've ever known with the Russian Civ. Now, these vills are going to be fine. I mean, they've got 4 different places they can retreat to. My question is, are the wagons going to get out? Really smart job by Raincloud there. Oh, he's got a church. Really smart move by Raincloud. He moved the wagons to that forward outpost, and if he had moved it to the TC, they would have died instantly. So, a good move by him, but look at the amount of units that are going down for Aztec. He did call the Minutemen, and now that there is going to be 2 more blockhouses with the Frontier upgrade plus the TC Fire, yes, he has taken out 2 blockhouses, but he is paying significantly for it, and he hasn't really done a lot of villager damage. These villagers just bopping around from spot to spot. And some Ruskets even going to come out, try to do a little distraction. Obviously, they are not going to be able to hold off the Aztec army, but all Raincloud is doing here is he's buying time. He's in age 3. He's got the tech advantage. He just has to do enough damage for the Aztec army to pull out, and he can get some more shipments out and continue to use that advantage. 23 vills for Russia, 25 for Aztec. So Aztec has paid in his own way economically by doing this build. He has sacrificed a lot of villager time. He's only sent 5 vills, no 4 vills. Maybe it's going to come in now. No, 8 Ententans, which is actually not what he needs. Right now he needs siege damage, and Ententans are the opposite of that. And we can see the great Aztec army, while it has killed 3 blockhouses, it's killed a house, it's done quite a bit. 2 more blockhouses are going to come out from Raincloud. And what card did he send to get that? He sent Russian-American company, excuse me, enables your villagers. Okay, so it's a hunt upgrade, and it sends 2 more blockhouse wagons. That's actually a really good card. Though the Aztec units might catch one here. These guys go up really fast, so it's not going to stop it completely. But 5 blockhouses plus a TC. And what does Roxel have to show for it? He sacrificed how many shipments? I mean, look at this. He sacrificed 1, 2, 3, 4 shipments, plus a lot of that 700 wood, and all he can say is that he took out 4 blockhouses, which if we count the 2 shipments that Raincloud said, those blockhouses were basically free. So you can see Roxel, he's getting a little bit salty in the chat there. Raincloud did give the XD, okay? So Raincloud did kind of instigate that. He's saying so sad to play like this. I don't know, man. I mean, here's what I'm thinking, okay? No shade towards either player, but if you're bringing out the Aztec Ooga Booga Rush, I don't think you get to say that other builds are lame, honestly. Contrary of what this game is supposed to be. Oh, typical rage moment in AOE3, right? You get mad and then you say, that's not how you're supposed to play the game. Like there is a specific way to play the game. Ooga Booga Rush, not any better. Raincloud saying what I'm thinking exactly. And now the Oprichniks are out on the map. These guys are not good in a fight. They're not meant to be combat units, but they are amazing raid units. In fact, I don't think there is a better raid unit in the game. Maybe Sipahi, you could argue, are better, but they're also a lot more expensive. But these Oprichniks, they have a 3 times bonus versus villagers. Okay, they are insane. They will melt a group of villagers, and I'm pretty sure they have area of effect damage as well. But again, you don't want to get these guys into a direct fight because they will lose. They'll lose against cavalry, they'll lose against infantry, and they don't even deal with skirmishers that well either. So again, purely a ranged unit, but look at how fast they can just quick dive in. Didn't quite get that villager, but look how low that Vill is already, and he's trying to stay away from the Pumas. You don't want to waste these guys because at the end of the day, they are 90 food and 60 coin. They're not like dirt cheap, but picking up a Vill there. Raincloud still at 23 Vills, 28 now for Roxel, and he is just licking his lips. He just wants to beat Raincloud so bad. I can only imagine how angry he is right now because I have been this angry, okay? When all your opponent does is just build outposts and raid, it can be really, really frustrating, but also it's part of the game, so you got to be able to deal with it, okay? And I don't think running around the map is what he needs to do, right? I think Roxel's wasting a lot of time. He's wasting a lot of resources here. I think what he needs to do is, yeah, he can't push in to the main base, but he can take out the peripheries, right? There's a stable here. There's a lot of exposed vills, and there's not a lot Raincloud can do to defend it, right? He can't really bring his Oprichniks in and try to harass because, again, they're terrible in combat. So I think, Roxel, the proper thing to do here is just respond with raiding of your own. Don't chase these Oprichniks around because you will never catch them. Aztec infantry is very good, but it's not going to catch cavalry. Although there might be a bit of a snare here. Coyotes coming out are going to pick up one of the Oprichniks, but while he's doing that, another group comes in, 1 Vill down, 2 Vill down, and is he going to lose all of these Vills? He's so preoccupied with catching those 3 Oprichniks, and 3 Oprichniks for 5 or 6 villagers. That is a trade you will take all day, every day, even sacrificing a couple of more so he can finish off that group of vills. And that was, okay, now that he actually killed all of the Oprichniks, that might have been a more even trade. And now Roxel is in the Fortress Age. But, I mean, Raincloud is continuing to make pure Oprichniks. He does have a lot of exposed vills out here, though, and that's why I'm saying Roxel should really be pushing his advantage. He has the economic bonus. He has the military advantage, and the fact that he's playing so defensively here, I think it's just a gut reaction, but it's probably not the best. But, I mean, both Roxel and Raincloud are better players than I am, so I shouldn't be too harsh. And what has Raincloud said besides that? So he sent the 2 outpost cards, and then he sent 6 Oprichniks and 5 Oprichniks. I cannot remember the last time I saw 5 Oprichniks in somebody's deck. And, I mean, they're not great, but against 3 Entente and Slingers, they still will do well. And now the Puma's coming in, gonna try to save I can't even try. Motel 6. Motel 6 is the name of that war chief, and the Puma's getting a snare, gonna take out one of the Oprichniks, but I don't think Raincloud matters or cares too much about that. The other thing about Oprichniks that I forgot to say is that their siege damage is incredible. They have 64 siege attack. So if you think that you can just hide villagers in a war hut and wait for them to go away, the Oprichniks, if they're in mass, they'll just knock it down and kill all the Vills in there, even picking up another one. And I'm really excited to see the Vill graph at the end of this game because I think it's going to be pretty ugly. Though you would have to imagine Raincloud's got to start mixing in something else, right? He's not going to just go pure Oprichniks, is he? I mean, that's all he's made so far this game. He made 5 recruits, and then beyond that, it's just been Oprichniks. And look at how frustrating this is for Aztec. It's just groups everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4th one over here. And the micro this takes for Raincloud is actually quite impressive. But he's going to lose a couple more there. He's not going to be able to keep eyes everywhere at once. And again, he's just running all over the map, being so pesky. And the Aztec army is very divided, and a significant score lead now for Raincloud. He's now up to 35 Vills versus the 15 of Roxel. He's lost over half of his economy just due to the Oprichnik raiding, and no matter how much he splits up his army, Raincloud can split up his raid units even more. And oh my gosh, this is so toxic, and I love it. It's not like toxic because Raincloud is toxic. It's just, man, I almost feel a little bit bad for Roxel. But again, you can't play Aztec and really complain. You're playing the strongest civ in the game, so like, you know, buck up and take your chops, right? But yeah, I mean, Cav everywhere. They are starting to dwindle a little bit, and right as I say that, Raincloud sends freaking Manchu, which will kill everything in the Aztec army. It will kill Pumas, it will kill Coyotes, it will kill Prowler Knights, and unless he's gonna poop out 40 slingers in the next 30 seconds, this town center is gonna go down. Because these Oprichniks, 64 siege attack. The Manchu, I mean, they have 11 siege attack, but there is 10 of them. And I mean, look at this town center. This is not a big army, and it's going down quite quickly. And if the Aztec units try to get in there, the Manchus will just shoot them down immediately. And that is the game. Absolute hilarity. Oh my God. Raincloud, you did not disappoint, man. The pure Oprichnik FF. Is it good? Is it viable? Not really, but it certainly is fun. And I cannot wait any longer to take a look at that Vill graph. So follow me to the post game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the post game. We are not going to spend hardly any time on the economy. Okay, Raincloud had the resource advantage, and Roxel had a huge military advantage, 97 to 56. But when you think about all of the time that his units were not fighting, they were just running around the map chasing those Oprichniks, just the amount of a lost potential in that military makes this number incredibly deceptive. And he did kill 5 buildings, but I mean, they were mostly buildings that Raincloud got for free, and they were meant to be destroyed, right? That was the whole point of the build. Put up more blockhouses, keep him in your base as long as possible, and just wear him down over time. And then we got to go to the timeline, and oh my God. I mean, this is a really, really scary push by Aztec, right? He has 71 units at 7 minute 30. 7 minute 30, okay? So for those of you that say Aztec is not like S tier, be quiet. They're more than just S tier for their rush, but I mean, that's insane. And then look at this. Look at the attrition that Roxel takes as he sits in Raincloud's base, and in the span of 2.5 minutes, he cuts his army in half while doing very little, right? He takes out a couple blockhouses, he kills a couple Vills, and then he takes more losses here. And by the end, I mean, those Manchu were just starting to clean. And let's take a look at the villager population, and it was actually staying really good for Roxel up until the 12-minute mark. He had a 28 to 26 lead, and at one point he had a 28 to 20 lead. But then we see the Oprichniks in action. We see a 9 villager loss here, that huge loss while he was chasing that small group. Then he lost another one here. He lost another 2 here, another one here. He sent a huge batch of villagers. That must have been a shipment. Yeah, that must have been 8 Vills from H3. Okay, so he sends 8 Vills to try to recover, loses 1, loses 2, And meanwhile, Rain Cloud's already at 38. So really fun build. I was super happy to see Aztec take one on the chin because I've been losing a lot to Aztec lately, and I am just sick of them. And it was really cool to see something from Russia that wasn't just forward blockhouse 5 Cossack Rusket Strelet, right? I mean, that's the build, right? That's what we know Russia for. But that's not the only thing they can do, okay? They're not just an H2 rush civ. They've got some pretty creative stuff in the pocket. But I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of sillier casted game. I'll be back next week with some more high-level stuff. But until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.